For some fighters, a new weight class is an opportunity. For Jaron "Boots" Ennis, it's a mission.
My mindset right now, looking forward to the homecoming, just staying locked in, training 2 to 3 times a day, to get my workouts in, get my rest in, just locked in and being focused.
No. I want to go drop it.
Staying active, that's the most important key. And me being off, for this time, it's not going to affect me at all. I just want to get myself back in the ring.
Bring me a 70 ball.
As June 27th approaches, the former unified welterweight champion isn't preparing for just another title fight. He's preparing for a chance to redefine his legacy.
I think I've known him since I started around like 12. I used to spar him, but he was a little small. Now I'm bigger than me. Everyone in Philly was raised, so we're raised to off survival. So we have to be tough. So we take that toughness in the ring with us, and we walk with that, on our sleeves. How far can he go? As far as he want to go. Like he could be the face of boxing as well.
What I'm excited about is, collecting all the belts, and becoming undisputed. That's what I'm excited about.
Chapter 1? Yeah, you can. Thank you. If you need one, you tell me.
Is this how you do it? You just go around asking people if you can cut that wood?
I guess. No, we normally be having our own pieces of wood back at home.
Standing across from him will be the undefeated Xander Zayas, one of boxing's brightest young stars, in a matchup many believe could shape the future of the super welterweight division.
Put that out here. We can't take it back on the plane, so after he finished chopping wood, taking it back to the store. Just tell him I'm taking the one already.
Just got done sparring, came to chop some wood, get this money. Life of a king, man.
You got some money. I know you ain't dropped that on my rod.
Fishing rod.
Yo, see you disrespectful, man. Damn, let me get up away from him, man.
Heavy, man.
Damn, dropping the damn X on my fishing rod. Well, it's crazy, man.
Man 26.
Inside training camp, Ennis has approached this challenge with the intensity of a fighter determined to prove he belongs among the sport's elite. The focus has been on carrying his trademark speed, explosiveness, and versatility into the 154-pound division, while adding the physical strength needed to compete with naturally bigger opponents.
What is it about living in Philly that makes you the fighter you are?
Just being from Philly, you're just different. You got a different type of swag, different type of demeanor. Just you're from Philly, you always find a way to win, dig deep, got that Philly grit.
It's a beautiful feeling, man, that people come out and showing love to my son. That's a great opportunity, man, and it's great for the city of Philadelphia, Boots going to really be a household name, even though people know him now, but he's going to be bigger than life.
High-intensity sparring, demanding conditioning sessions, angle creation, and relentless combination punching have all become central parts of his preparation. The goal is simple: arrive stronger without sacrificing the athleticism that made him one of boxing's most dangerous talents. But this fight represents more than championships. It represents an opportunity to become a two-weight unified world champion and silence any remaining doubts about his place among boxing's pound-for-pound best.
Xander, where are we in camp right now? What week are we on?
Maybe 4 into camp already. 4 moving, but because we never stop. I feel like even off camp, I'm always here getting better and moving around. Remember, I'm in fat camp. That's all it is. I'm in fat camp. I'm not ashamed of being in fight camp.
But
Take my shirt off.
Yeah, but the reality is, like, Xander's fat camp is not fat camp, right? And this body's been built over the last 3 or 4 years. So when we're in camp, we're in refining right now. We've chased the adaptation. He has what he needs. The tools are there. Now it's just about optimizing. And you'll see the session today. It's Wednesday. It's midweek. Somewhere he's probably grinding. Right now we're refining. We're getting better. We're fine tuning. It's about rhythm and timing, making sure we're keeping this body healthy for what we've got to do across in the ring. So he's exactly where he needs to be. We could go next week. You know, I think the proof is in the pudding, right? You'll see this body on fight night. He'll be ready to go.
But every great story needs an opponent who refuses to play the supporting role. While Jaron "Boots" Ennis has spent camp chasing history in a new weight class, Xander Zayas has been preparing to protect the throne he worked years to build. At just 23 years old, the undefeated Puerto Rican champion enters the biggest fight of his career, knowing that victory would silence every remaining doubt about whether he truly belongs among boxing's elite.
Everybody's talking about Boots being the best in the division. So if that's the case, then Xander getting this win, I mean, we would have to put Xander up there as well. Boots is gonna really bring out the best of Xander. I don't think anybody has seen the best yet. And I think this fight is gonna bring that out in him.
Under the watchful eye of longtime trainer Javier Centeno, Zayas has approached this camp with the same mindset that carried him from teenage prospect to unified world champion. There have been no dramatic changes, no desperate reinventions, only a continued commitment to the fundamentals that brought him to this stage. Sharp technical boxing, disciplined footwork, crisp combination punching, and elite conditioning have remained the foundation of every session. Yet Zayas understands exactly what's standing across the ring from him.
I normally do it at least twice a week. Helps with inflammation, muscle pain, all of that. So this is good. It's good for the body. We actually implemented it for the first time last camp, and so we continue to do it. This in the hyperbaric chamber, they have it here too, and I come at least once or twice a week and try to get it done because it's good for the body. It makes me feel good. I feel the difference when I do it to when I don't do it. So just keep doing it. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Ennis brings explosive athleticism, elite speed, and the kind of versatility that can create problems for anyone in the sport. That's why this camp has been about preparation, discipline, and trust in the game plan. For Zayas, this isn't just another title defense. It's an opportunity to prove that youth can overcome experience, that discipline can match talent, and that the brightest lights bring out the best version of him. On June 27th, the undefeated champion won't be fighting to protect his place at the top. He'll be fighting to prove he belongs there.
Because we knew this was meant to happen. We knew we're supposed to be here. I'm a firm believer that God puts you in places when it's the right time. So he hasn't missed yet, and I know he's not gonna miss on June 27th.
And if the build-up to Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas has mostly revolved around Ennis chasing greatness in a new division, listening to Xander talk makes you realize something important. This kid doesn't see himself as the obstacle in Boots' story. He sees Boots as the obstacle in his. That's a completely different mentality. What stood out to me wasn't the trash talk, because honestly, there wasn't much of it. Instead, there was this calm confidence that almost feels more dangerous. Boots told everybody to go get Xander. Xander's response? Basically, I've been waiting. That's not the energy of a fighter hoping he's ready. That's the energy of a champion who already believes he belongs at the table. I actually laughed when the conversation shifted toward odds and underdog status because Zayas treated it like somebody was reading tomorrow's weather forecast. He couldn't have looked less interested.
When you want to be great and you choose to be great and you decide that this is what you want to do, I feel like fighting the best is the only way to show it. It's easy to go out in social media and say I'm the best and have nobody in your resume and not have proven yourself. So I feel like I say I'm the best. I prove myself every time in. I haven't said no to any opponents they always bring to the table. I always come ready. I always come prepared. And I always show what this 23-year-old is a unified world champion.
While fans keep obsessing over Boots' speed, power, and highlight reel talent, Xander keeps circling back to the same point. He's been underestimated his whole life, and whether you agree with him or not, that's a dangerous mindset to bring into a fight. Then there was the subtle little jab about Boots needing a 23-year-old champion to make the biggest fight of his career. That's the kind of confidence that doesn't scream. It just sits there and lets the room get uncomfortable. At the same time, I wouldn't mistake that confidence for arrogance. You can tell he respects what Boots brings. He just genuinely believes the answer to every question is himself. That's what fascinates me about this matchup. Ennis is trying to prove he's the future pound-for-pound king. Zayas is trying to prove the king is already standing in front of him. One fighter believes talent wins. The other believes preparation, consistency, and belief win. And when both undefeated fighters walk into Barclays Center, convinced destiny is wearing their gloves, somebody's perfect record is about to discover reality the hard way.
Literally 2 weeks. Right. You know what I'm saying? But again, I did have a date for June 27 in Puerto Rico. And that was always gonna be my date because I fought in January 31st. So they told me June 27th is the date. And then obviously everything shifted because of the Boots fight. So we just changed the venue and the opponent, but the date stayed the same. You're not gonna change my date because you're Jaron Boots Ennis or because you're whoever you want to be. I'm Xander Zayas. I'm the unified world champion, and we're gonna fight June 27th.
And that's where Roy Jones Jr.'s perspective becomes so interesting, because while Xander Zayas has spent the entire build-up talking like a man who fully expects to leave Barclays Center with his undefeated record intact, Roy steps in and reminds everybody that confidence and capability aren't always the same thing. What I love about Roy's breakdown is that he doesn't get hypnotized by the crowd, the hype, or the narratives. Xander's talking about Puerto Rican pride, proving he's the best at 154 and showing the world he's ready for the moment. Roy hears all of that and basically says, cool, but the crowd isn't throwing punches. And honestly, that's one of the most important points in this whole fight. Some fans are acting like Boots is walking into a hostile movie scene where the arena itself is part of the opposition. Roy's right. Once that bell rings, all those chants become background music.
Can Xander beat Boots, Roy? He's super confident. He thinks he can do everything Boots can do.
It's yet to be seen. It's like I said, I'm not saying he can't because I've seen Xander, and Xander is pretty good. Intangible-wise, I don't know that he can do everything Boots can do because Boots does have a lot of intangibles that Boots can do. I've seen him do a few more because he's been around a bit longer than Xander. But Xander's got to know how to make a adjustment. So that being said, we'll have to see what happens.
The real problem standing in front of Boots is Xander, and the real problem standing in front of Xander is Boots. That's it. What really caught my attention, though, was how Roy kept coming back to the word intangibles. Not speed, not power, not youth. Intangibles. That's boxing language for the stuff that doesn't always show up on a stat sheet. The weird adjustments, the instincts, the ability to solve problems when Plan A explodes in your face by round 4. Roy seems to believe Boots has a little more of that in the toolbox, and that's not exactly a shocking opinion considering what we've seen throughout Ennis' career. But here's where things get messy. Every time people point to Boots' advantages, Xander responds by winning another fight and collecting another belt. That's why this matchup feels so dangerous. One guy has the flashier skill set, the other has the confidence of a champion who genuinely believes he's being overlooked again. Roy sees Boots holding a slight edge. Xander sees himself winning no matter what. And when both fighters are that convinced they're right, that's usually when boxing gives us something unforgettable.
But Xander's got to know how to make an adjustment. So that being said, we'll have to see what happens. I don't know who will win the fight. The intangibles do lean toward Boots to me, but Xander's a hell of a fighter, a hell of a champion, and I've seen him in action up close when I had Slava fight him, and he gave Slava a pretty good, he made a good adjustment on Slava and came back and beat Slava, but Slava did hurt him early, but you never can tell. So does Boots have that kind of power? I think so, yes. Does Boots have boxing skills? I know that for a fact. So I think it's going to be just a great fight, and I can't wait to see who wins.
Roy Jones Jr. looked at the Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas fight and basically said, don't let the crowd fool you, the ring is still one-on-one. But what Shane Mosley brings to the conversation is a completely different layer because he's not just talking about who wins. He's talking about why this fight might be a lot closer than the betting odds suggest. That's what immediately grabbed me. While a lot of fans see Boots as this unstoppable cheat code moving up from welterweight, Shane is looking at Xander and saying, hold on, this kid is a real problem. And honestly, I get it. The more you study Zayas, the harder it becomes to dismiss him. Shane keeps circling back to something that casual fans overlook: activity. Not just throwing punches for the sake of it, but forcing a fighter as explosive as Boots to constantly think, reset, and react. That's a dangerous game because Boots is at his best when he's dictating chaos. But if Xander can turn that chaos into a math test instead of a street race, suddenly things get interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a lot closer too because Xander Zayas is a really good boxer, puncher. Well, you know, he's really big for 154.
Absolutely.
And I think that he can move around really good. He's got a lot of great combinations and stuff like that. But it's going to be a tough fight for him because Boots is actually a big fighter too as well and has a lot of skills. Not just punching power, but he has a lot of boxing skills as well. And he can go from right-handed to left-handed, you know, at any time. So that could be a problem for Xander Zayas.
At the same time, Shane isn't ignoring reality either. He openly acknowledges that Boots isn't just a puncher. The man switches stances like he's changing TV channels, has speed that can erase mistakes, and carries power that makes opponents second-guess their own game plans. Then things get even crazier when the size conversation enters the room. Some people act like Zayas is walking in with a superhero advantage because of his frame, but Shane basically shrugs and reminds everyone that Boots is a big guy too. In other words, nobody's winning this fight at the weigh-in, they're winning it in the exchanges. That's why I keep coming back to the same conclusion. This isn't youth versus experience, power versus boxing, or hype versus reality. It's two undefeated fighters reaching that moment where talent stops being enough and somebody has to prove they're truly special. And that's exactly why June 27th feels less like a title fight and more like the beginning of a new chapter at 154 pounds.
But Shane, if you were training Xander Zayas, how do you get the job done? How do you nullify that speed? How do you stop that power?
Well, I think that Xander Zayas will have to be more of a volume puncher, kind of like with, you know, what I'm thinking his name, Fedora.
Yes.
Like Fedora was like a volume puncher. I think that he has to keep Boots in his, you know, occupied with all the punches and movements and stuff like that. But if he stays there right in front of him, then, you know, then Boots is going to, you know, take his toll on him. But I think that activity for Xander Zayas will be the key for him.
So now we've heard the arguments from every angle. Boots. Ennis believes this is the moment he announces himself as the new force at 154 pounds. Xander Zayas believes this is the night he proves he was never part of Boots' story. Boots was part of his. Roy Jones Jr. sees the intangibles favoring Ennis. Shane Mosley thinks the gap between them is much smaller than people realize. One side is betting on explosive talent, the other is betting on discipline, activity, and belief. The only thing everybody seems to agree on is that somebody's undefeated record is staying in Brooklyn while somebody else leaves with the biggest win of their career. But now I want to hear from you. Who wins this fight and why? Does Boots Ennis become a two-weight unified champion and move one step closer to pound-for-pound status? Or does Xander Zayas shock the boxing world and prove he's already the king at 154? Drop your thoughts in the comments section because this one has Fight of the Year potential written all over it. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.